Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, Thursday evening, and it turned out to be another nice day, although we had more cloud cover around, a little bit more on the grayer side of things today. We actually had some rain that tried to work its way in. You can see across far west central Illinois, those fell apart. And now we're just left with a mix of sun and clouds out there tonight with temperatures that are in the upper 70s and a few low 80s showing up. And you may have noticed a little bit more in the way of that humidity. Now, there's a small chance for maybe an isolated storm through this evening. I think the chances are pretty low, but they're not zero. We have a better chance for rain this upcoming weekend. We'll show you which day has the best chance for that rain coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right
now from WCIA 3 News.
It's very disturbing to have that type of alleged activity take place in the community.
He was paid to give massages, while police say he gave much more than that.
Plus, the governor just finished more than a week of appearances walking around the state fair. Why we now know that wasn't good for his health.
He spent hours getting the school going.
And there wouldn't be a St. Thomas More High School without him. How the man who spent a lifetime educating others about faith is being remembered tonight.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
We believe there's more victims.
A man in Mattoon is facing sexual assault and drug charges. Police say he tried to make sexual contact with a female massage client. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Amando Hernandez was arrested last night. Police say the woman called Tuesday and told them she was on the massage table in his house when she was assaulted. Hernandez is licensed as a massage therapist. Investigators also found muscle relaxers in the area where he worked. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is with us now. So, Courtney, how long do police say he had been doing this?
Jennifer, I asked them that, and they said they don't know the exact answer to that question, but once they released the information about his arrest, more women started coming forward saying they'd experienced a similar thing. One said she had gone through the exact same experience herself, but she also said she knew two others who shared a similar experience. Investigators say one of the victims told them Hernandez took pictures of her.
Unfortunate, it's very disturbing to have that type of alleged activity take place in the community. It makes people wonder who they can trust.
When police served their search warrant, they took Hernandez's phone, laptop, and other electronics. They also found cameras around the house, but none inside the massage parlor area. Still, those cameras were portable and could have been moved around the house. Investigators are working on getting search warrants so they can go through all the electronics, including Hernandez's phone, which they say he was very reluctant to give them. Hernandez was taken to the Coles County Jail when he was arrested, but he has since posted bond. He's due back in court on Thursday. Jennifer.
Courtney, thank you so much for that. Now, police say if you have had a similar experience at Hernandez's home, you should call them. When it comes to teachers, a new state law requires school districts to do background checks on them every 5 years. Before this, they only had to be done during the hiring process. It's designed to make sure violent offenders stay out of the classroom. It lets the State Board of Education suspend a teacher's license if they're charged with Class X felonies like sex crimes, drug offenses, and kidnapping. The law also requires districts to report a teacher's conviction.
An educator who has an open case of sex abuse or was convicted can't just move to a new school district and just pretend like that didn't happen. It allows for some information to be shared with the school district, almost saying, okay, you know, we know that you've hired this person, just letting you know this is what's happened. But it's just further protections for our kids.
In the past, districts only had to report the crime if a teacher was fired because of it.
Here's a follow-up. A man has been arrested for a murder in Decatur last month. Police say Crontario Bond was arrested by U.S. Marshals in Calumet City. He's accused of shooting and killing Demetrius Ford. He was found dead on a porch in mid-July. All lanes are open tonight after a man from Savoy was killed in a head-on crash near Ogden. State police say his SUV was headed eastbound on 150 around 7:15 this morning. It went into the westbound lanes for unknown reasons and hit the semi. The 42-year-old was killed instantly. He was not wearing a seatbelt. The driver of the semi was not hurt. No name has has been released.
A motorcyclist was killed this afternoon in Shelby County. It happened just east of Shelbyville on Route 16. Police say 28-year-old Dustin Hahn was at a stop sign about to turn when he pulled out and hit the bike. That person died. Hahn was ticketed for not yielding. Police haven't released the name of the driver who was killed. Governor Pritzker has a broken leg. They say it happened weeks ago, but he continued to walk on it. Like this half-hour long walk through the state fair for an interview with our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell. They say that made the fracture worse. Now the governor can't go on a trip to Japan. People are paying their respects to Monsignor Albert Hallen, the founder of the High School of St. Thomas More in Champaign.
Yeah, the priest died at the age of 90 on Monday at a nursing home near Peoria. WCIA 3's Jen Lask visited Holy Cross Church today. Jen, how is he being remembered?
A visitation began at 4 this afternoon for Monsignor Hallen and will wrap up at 7 tonight. Church leaders told me they expect hundreds of people to go to his funeral tomorrow. Monsignor Hallen was ordained in 1961 and began teaching while serving at Holy Family Parish in Peoria. That led to a lifetime of work educating others. I spoke with Holy Cross Church's father and director of religious education. They talked about how incredibly instrumental Monsignor Hallen was to creating the High School of St. Thomas More.
He spent hours getting the school going, getting donations, getting wonderful teachers, a wonderful facility. Beautiful chapel there.
During the liturgies, the all-school masses that we have, to be able to preach, to the students and to share that faith and share that knowledge on their level and in a way that they could understand and put that into practice in their own lives.
The Diocese of Peoria says donations can be made in his memory to St. Thomas More, Holy Cross School, or to St. Joseph Nursing Home. If you are unable to attend tonight's visitation, which ends at 7, a final visitation will be held tomorrow morning at 10 before Monsignor Hallen's funeral mass. Back to you.
Well, it sounds like he's touched a lot of lives all across central Illinois. Jen, thanks. Well, St. Thomas More High School has shared a statement with us as well. It says in part, quote, his zeal and devotion to Catholic education made this dream a reality. Our alumni and future alumni will forever be indebted to him and those who helped him to found a Catholic high school in Champaign-Urbana. You can see the full statement at WCIA.com.
WCIA 3 was one of more than 300 Ameren customers who lost power this morning. That's why the morning show went to black around 9:30. That's a look in our very dark newsroom. It also caused traffic lights on Green Street to flash. A squirrel is to blame for this one. The power was back up and running about an hour later.
Well, back in the day, you could hitch a train ride from East Urbana to Kickapoo State Park, while only those on bike or by foot are allowed to make that trip.
And also tonight.
You can go into almost any profession and have it some way linked back to agriculture.
And that was made perfectly clear this week at the Farm Progress Show, how the industry isn't just for adults.
All right, a nice quiet evening across central Illinois. No issues out there tonight as we look to the Roofing Dog Adams Memorial's weather camera. Let's get you a recap of today as we show the high getting up to 79, below average. 52 though this morning. Boy, did it feel good early on today. All right, couple of evening storms. We'll talk about the chances for that. Some rain around for the weekend and how overall the temperatures are pretty close to average for this time of the year coming up.